morning student. Today we will start the first chapter of class 10, that is force, and this is the book which you must follow, which is prescribed in your syllabus. This is the Concise Salina book, and the author of this book is Kusum Goyal and Mudit Goyal. Okay, so let's start our chapter. This is the first chapter of class 10, that is force. Here we will understand the basic concept of the force and try to solve the numerical related to these concepts. And numericals are very important, so you need to understand the concept first. So what are the syllabus which we are going to cover in this chapter? The syllabus is turning force, moment of force, force in equilibrium, center of gravity, and the numerical based on this effect, and the numerical based on this force. So first topic is force. So basically the force you might have studied in class 9. The force are of two types, contact and non-contact, which we have already studied in class 9. Here we will stick to our concept, that is, here we need to study the concept of the force, and according to our concept the force are classified into a rigid and non-rigid body. What are rigid body? Rigid bodies are those bodies whose direction, whose shape, size and structure cannot be changed on applying some force. Whose shape, size and structure cannot be changed on applying the force, whose direction can be changed on the application of the force, while the rigid body, non-rigid bodies are the bodies whose shape, size and structure can be changed by the application of force, by applying force. So here in our rigid body we having the two type of systems are there. One is pivoted, another one is non-pivoted. Pivoted means the body is fixed, means the axis of rotation of the body is fixed. Body is stick to a particular point, and by taking this particular point as the axis of rotation, the body is rotated or body is rotated. For non-pivoted, if the body is not non-pivoted means body is not fixed to a particular axis of rotation, then only a linear motion is possible, or we can say translational motion. So if the body is fixed to a particular point or axis of rotation is maintained, then such kind of system is known as pivoted system. Suppose the opening and closing of the window. So window is hinged to a particular point, and by applying the force here, we can simply open or close or change the direction of a body or a window. So this is known as pivoted. For translational motion, the body moves along the direction of the force. For example, if the spherical body is moving in a straight path, such kind of motion is known as translational motion or a linear motion. But if a body is pivoted, it performs the rotational motion, and when body is pivoted at a point and force is applied at at some distance away from the pivot or the axis of rotation, then the rotation is known as rotational motion. Now we will move to our next concept, that is, what do you mean by the movement of force? What do you mean by the movement of force? So what do you mean by the movement of force? So movement of force, or we can say torque, moment of force is equal to the force into perpendicular distance. Force into perpendicular distance. For example, suppose this is the door, and this is the axis of rotation. So when we apply a force over here, so the distance of this application of the force from the axis of rotation is known as perpendicular distance, which we have taken as x. And suppose the force is applied 10 Newton, and the distance of the application of the force from the distance of the force from the point of application is 2 meter. We can say, suppose we have taken 2 meter, then the moment of force equal to 10 into 2, that is equal to 20 Newton meter. So unit for the moment of force is force. The unit of the force is Newton and the distance is meter. So moment of the force having the unit is Newton meter, and the moment of force is a vector quantity. Moment of force is a vector quantity because the direction is specified during the moment of force. If we are rotating the body in a clockwise direction, then it is taken as negative while in the case of anti-clockwise it is taken as positive. This is the convention which we are following in our physics. Okay, so we need to stick to particular convention. Now suppose we can take one example. Suppose we have taken one example. Suppose this is the example in which this is the fulcrum, this is a point, center point where this body is balanced. The center point is 50 centimeter and overall distance is 100 centimeter, and the weight of 10 kg is applied over here and 25 kg is applied over in this direction. This 25 kg is placed at a distance of 70 centimeter and this 10 kg is placed at a distance of 10 centimeter. So what we need to do is we need to determine the net force and the direction of this body. Suppose this body in which direction this body will move. So this 10 kg will be in anti-clockwise direction while this 25 kg will be in clockwise direction. So this is 10. So remaining distance will be 40 and this is 50. From 50 to 70 the remaining distance will be 20. So we apply a moment of force that is 40 into 10. This is anti-clockwise direction, so it is taken as positive, while this is the 20 into 25. This is in clockwise direction, taken as negative. So this is equal to 400 and this is equal to 500. So overall, if we add both these equations, that is equal to 100 Newton meter. 100 Newton meter. We will add algebraically. So that is 100 Newton meter, and the direction is negative. Negative in the sense it represents the overall movement will be in clockwise direction. The overall movement will be in clockwise direction. Now we'll study the factor affecting the movement of the force. Which are the factors which affect the movement of force? Question can directly be asked in your board examination. First is magnitude of the force applied. Magnitude of the force applied, perpendicular distance of the line of action of force from the axis of rotation. And third point is sense of rotation, whether the force is moving in a clockwise direction or in an anti-clockwise direction. So we know very well movement of force equal to force into perpendicular distance. So either this perpendicular distance can be increased or a force can be increased, so that the movement of force overall can be increased. So it is easier for us to increase the perpendicular distance, so total movement of force can be increased. For example, suppose you are using the hand pump. So as you move away from this, as you move far away for this handle, it is easier for you to start or to move frequently the pumping of the hand pump. Okay, so this is very important concept you need to understand. And now we'll move to our next topic, that is equilibrium. What do you mean by equilibrium? Equilibrium is a condition. Equilibrium is a condition where the net force acting on a body equal to 0. Net force acting on a body equal to 0. So equilibrium is again of two types: static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium. Static equilibrium, suppose this is a table and this body is placed over the table and the force exerted on the left hand side equal to the right hand side. So net force on a body is equal to 0 and the body is in a rest condition, then it is said to be in equilibrium, and this balance the body and the body is in rest condition, therefore regarded as static equilibrium. While there is a dynamic equilibrium also. Some student must have the misconception that in equilibrium the body will always remain at rest. No, it is not possible. The equilibrium can achieve also in a dynamic condition. Suppose how can you achieve? For example, the raindrop falling on the earth. So here this Biochant force is balancing the mg and the frictional force experienced by the raindrop. Therefore this raindrop is moving with a constant velocity. The velocity of the raindrop is constant and they are in a equilibrium. So in dynamic equilibrium, velocity is constant. So acceleration equal to 0. And we know that F equal to mass into acceleration. If acceleration equal to 0, net force exerted also equal to 0. So body is in equilibrium. Now, if what happen if the equilibrium, this is the equilibrium condition for the equilibrium for the translational, for the movement of force, if net force equal to 0, then the movement of force also equal to 0. Movement of force also equal to 0. So here the clockwise movement equal to the anti-clockwise movement. So this will give you the principle of momentum. This will give you the principle of movement, that is the clockwise movement equal to the anti-clockwise movement. So let's take one example, that is the question here. We need to determine the value of x. How will you determine the value of x? This 5 kg is placed at a distance 10 centimeter and the overall distance is again 100 centimeter, and this is pivoted at 50 centimeter from the at the center of the body, and you need to determine the position where this weight 10 kg is suspended. So this is 5 kg moving in a anti-clockwise direction and this is moving in a clockwise direction, but here in question it is clearly mentioned the body is in equilibrium. So we will simply apply the principle of movement, that is clockwise movement equal to the anti-clockwise movement, that is equal to 5 into